Gather around, young and old, that I may tell you about the source of wisdom in our world. In the early days, the gods fought amongst each other. These were the Aesir and the Vanir, two practically identical tribes, but they fought each other to the death, like they were not family, but they were. And the king of all of these gods, well, the father of all of these gods, Odin, at that time, he still had two eyes, and let me tell you why. He thought to himself, to win the war, we need to get wisdom. And so Odin traveled to the land of giants. You see, he had to disguise himself as a traveler so that the giants would not kill him as he traveled through their land. And thus he ventured until he got to the base of the great world tree Yggdrasil, where it fed from the pool of the giant Mimir. And Mimir's pool was filled with all of the wisdom of the world, and only Mimir, could drink from this pool. And because of this, Mimir knew everything. Odin walked up to the giant, and he said, "Mimir, brother, please let me drink of your wisdom pool so that I may win this war." And Mimir looked at him and said, "No." "Please, Mimir," Odin begged him. "Please. We are killing each other. Brother is fighting brother. We are all going to die, and this world will end soon enough if we do not gain your wisdom. Please let us have a drink of your well." And Mimir said, "I will only do this for the price of your eye." Odin didn't hesitate. Without a second thought, he grabbed a knife, plunged it into his eye, started cutting the orb out of his skull, and soon enough, he took out the eye and he tossed it into Mimir's pool. With his tithe thus paid, Odin was able to take a drink of the water. And before he knew it, all of the wisdom, all of the knowledge across the entire world flooded into Odin. And although he was one-eyed, he saw more than he had ever seen. And for this, we call him Blinder the One-Eyed, or Grimmer. And so, Odin was able to win the war on the side of the Aesir. But this is not where our story ends, you see. At the end of the war between the Aesir and the Vanir, they began to trade troops, military advisors, prisoners, what have you, to help with the peace process. And in doing so, Odin sent Mimir to the Vanir tribe to be their advisor to their prince. The prince was very successful when he listened to Mimir, but as many Norse gods want to do, he was very willful. And one day he went out without Mimir, and he made some very foolish mistakes. Instead of accepting the blame for making these mistakes, the Vanir prince decided to blame Mimir even though he wasn't there, and he cut off his head. Now Odin wasn't happy about this, but there was nothing he could do. So he traveled to the Vanir land. He found Mimir's head. He picked it up off the ground and he said, we have the ability to save this wisdom. And he brought the head back to the pool where his eyes still rested in the water. He placed the head into the pool of wisdom, at the base of the world tree Yggdrasil, next to his eye that he had cut out of his face. He placed the head there, and there it rests, and there it will stay until the great day of Ragnarok is upon us.